Hello everyone, this is Fireswamp, and today I will be doing a walkthrough presentation, mild discussion about a level I made for Creeper World 4 by the name of Dreadful Dredging. So, let's start by just taking a look at the level for anyone who hasn't seen it. We have an absolute ton of creeper. This is 2,000 deep. We've got breeder terrain underneath it. It's not very strong breeder terrain, but with the sheer amount of it, we pretty much stand no chance at getting rid of this creeper with conventional weapons. Okay, now the objective that we have is nullify enemies. We've got a spore tower here that's relatively close to our safe little island that we have here. But the problem is that we have to get into the creeper to actually place a nullifier down. Okay, so conventional weapons are obviously not going to be of much help against creeper this thick. Our only real hope is going to have to be orbitals. So let's just start setting up how our base is probably going to look. So, well, we're going to need orbitals, so we're going to want... I'll just place down... Let's just place down a bunch of them. Don't know how many we're going to use, but we're going to use some. So we're going to have factory, and we're going to want an urn portal just because those are good things to have. And the other thing is we're going to want a bunch of refineries. So one thing is that this is not one green mother, this is in fact 18 all stacked on top of each other. So this will actually produce a lot of crystals very quickly. But we have a slight problem. How do we get access to the how do we get access to this greenar? Because hold on, I need to... Let's do there. So, the problem is that that as much as these refineries are in range, they can't grab greenar crystals if those greenar crystals are underneath creeper. Which is a slight concern for us, because that means we can't get Liftic, which means we can't get orbitals, which means we can't nullify the spore launcher. So that's where this puzzle kind of comes in, of how do you get access to the greenar crystals here without, because as we've already established, you can't just punch through this creeper. You're going to need something that will actually get rid of the creeper, even just for a second, just so you can grab the crystals. And the mechanic that we're going to be abusing is overflow. So when you put more than 2,147 creeper in a single tile, it will integer overflow and become 2,147 anti-creeper. And you can grab crystals from under anti-creeper. Okay. Now, so we're going to want to get a bunch of creeper in one tile. Now, to do this, we're actually going to be abusing flow mechanics. So let's first just get our base set up. Let's just get a bunch of these miners up because we're going to need them. And you can see the massive amount of crystal spawning per cycle with this greenar mother. Okay. So as we continue on, we're just going to be building up a ton of energy and whatever. Okay. So now we need to figure out how we're going to cause an overflow. And I'm also going to show off an interesting mechanic, in that if the creeper level in an area is above 800 and you flip a tile to anti-creeper, the surrounding creeper will flood in, annihilate the anti-creeper, and then it will keep flooding because of flow mechanics and push. And sorry, if the creeper level is above 800, it will actually push more than 2,147 creeper into that tile, convert to anti-creeper, and then repeat this process. So what ends up happening is you will have these tiles which will just infinitely cycle between creeper and anti-creeper. And one of the tricks with this level is that this is actually enough to allow your refineries to grab greener crystals from. And that was kind of the main piece of this level. But the thing is that even with that, there's still a few mild details which are not fully fleshed out yet. So the first one is, how do you cause these tiles to flip in the first place? And second, and keep in mind that these crystals, like if you hit the tile next to them, it's not going to work, because this will only work on a single tile. So you need to accurately hit individual tiles and cause them to flip constantly. And also, let's just say you get rid. Let's just say you start flipping this tile, this green art crystal, and this green art crystal gets collected. Well, what can happen is that on the next cycle, a green art crystal can spawn right here, where this tower is. And, well, we kind of are screwed then, because green art crystals cannot spawn adjacent to each other. So this tile, as much as this tile will constantly be flipping, if there's a green art crystal right here, it will not produce any more green art. And, well, we're going to need that orbital. We're going to need the orbital. We're actually going to need 6 orbitals. Slight spoiler alert. The way you're supposed to beat this level is a convert and dampener combo right here, which will then let you get, place a nullifier just here. Okay. Now, how do you accurately hit this? How do you accurately hit these tiles to cause them to flip? Well, I know of 2 ways to do this. And I'll go with my method because the other method is kind of a bit inconsistent. It's notably inaccurate as all hell. Okay. So, what I'm going to need for my strategy is actually blueite. Because what I'm going to build... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's good enough. Okay, so we're going to build 18 sprayers. And probably not going to want to build them all yet because we don't have the power for that. Damn it. Off. Okay. Okay, I can start building them because I've got excess power. Okay, so among the many mechanics that I abuse for this is that sprayers, when you destroy them, they actually deposit all of their anti-creeper on a single tile. Now, the obvious thing that people are thinking is, oh, you're just going to grab 18 sprayers, put them all on a single tile, annihilate them. That's complete overkill for this. What the trick is that if you just take 2 of them, you take 2 sprayers, and you detonate them on the exact same tile at the exact same frame, the surrounding creeper will get low enough that that creeper tile will get low enough that the surrounding creeper will flood in, and at level 2000 and at 2000 deep, this is enough that the surrounding creeper flooding in will push it above that 2147 threshold and start the spawn cycle. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to start producing blueite. We're going to want to fill up all of these. Forgot to disarm them. Don't want them wasting ammo on useless things. Okay. So, the other thing I'm going to do with them is I'm going to tell them I'm going to disable avoid creeper. This is so that they basically just fly into the creeper, because we're going to suicide them anyway. We don't care if they are healthy in the meantime. Nope. Okay. So once these are done, I'm just going to start building these right now, just because we have the opportunity to and we're going to need them. Okay. And actually, we're also going to need these. Okay, we only have 3... So once these are full, I'm going to start moving the urns off of the miners, because right now we're just trying to fill up all of our sprayers to full ammo capacity. Okay, so while this is happening, I'll also explain the other way I know to do this. I know that it's possible to do with AC bombers. You only need a single AC bomber, because an AC bomber actually holds more AC than a sprayer. Okay, this is... Well, let's give this a few extra. We're probably going to end up with a bit of extra anti-creeper, but that's fine. Don't need you two. Earn you. And then... might as well get energy collection and... Actually, nothing else really makes sense. Just get another refinery with another urn. Why not? Okay. So now comes the first trick, and that is to actually stack the sprayers. So, actually, hold on. Let's get this placed exactly. So use W, or you can use coordinates. Basically, you just want this to head straight up, and then the rest of these, you're going to use formation move to get them in the exact right position. So these should all be heading directly straight up. Now, from timing this, I believe it is 33 frames. Okay. So now, if I grab these sprayers right here, and if I've done this right, which I cannot guarantee I have, what will happen is these will pretty much stack directly on top of each other. So when we detonate these, they will drop all of their anti-creeper on a single tile. Okay. Now, okay, so what's the best way to go about this? I'm actually going to grab these two. Okay, these ones. Okay, so these ones can detonate on one of the outside pieces. That's fine. This one can detonate on... Let's just start targeting which ones we're going to grab. So I'm just going to start highlighting which ones I'm interested in taking. So right here, these ones, I'll just have them detonate on here. These ones... Did I really just... Okay, fine. Right down the middle of this. That's annoying, but like you can manipulate them to aim to the side. But actually, I'm going to have them specifically target up here, because I'm going to actually grab a bunch of these ones, which are not in line with crystals, and I'm going to put them over to the side. So I'm going to grab these ones, and once they're up here, I'm going to move them sideways. Okay, so that was this one. So now we want this one. That one's good. Okay, over here. Here makes sense, and for this one, right here. Okay, so this seems like a pretty nice distribution, and then for these ones I'm going to aim for here and here, I think. Okay, that looks vaguely okay. Got that somewhat memorized. Not very well, but it also doesn't need to be perfect. So the important one is that I want these ones to go sideways first. Okay, so first things first, these ones are going sideways. Then this one needs to detonate. Okay. Vague idea what I'm doing. Not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. This is the incredibly micro-intensive part of the level, and also recommend saving at this point. Okay, so now these are in line with this, so you two, I'd like you two to head horizontally. I believe the next one I wanted to hit was this one? Okay, well anyway, so the important one is this. So this is centered on these. So theoretically, if I detonate this, this tile right here, you can tell in the bottom left, has been hit successfully. So this tile will actually start flipping indefinitely. But we have a slight problem. If we kind of look in, and it's actually hard to tell because of this, but this tile is not actually properly locked. There are actually, so this is what I was kind of referencing about. If a green art crystal spawns next to the tile you're flipping, it will no longer produce. I know two ways around this. I'm using the cheese method. You can actually be very smart about this and specifically pick tiles. Like, you see this crystal? If you hit this crystal, this one's actually perfectly safe because no crystal can spawn next to it, thanks to all of the surrounding crystals. So you could only hit these crystals and be very careful about what you pick. Or you could cheese the level. And by cheese the level, I mean you use terraform markers. Because, for some odd reason, green art crystals cannot spawn on terraform markers. So if I surround a crystal with terraform markers, it can never have its spawn blocked. Okay. So I believe this was the next one I'm aiming for. Did I hit it? I hit that one. And now's a good time to save. Okay, so we're also going to get a chance to see this tile erupt. It's going up. I really need to pay attention. There's a lot of things I need to pay attention to with this. But I want to catch this thing flipping. I need to send this horizontally, I think. I'll find something, even if I'm slightly off. Okay, so this should go right here. Okay. So this tile, 2147. There you go. It flipped to anti-creeper. And these are unfortunately not done, so they can't go collect it yet, but that's fine. Okay. And now I just need to be very careful about this. So there's a few ways you can do this. You can just keep saving anytime you successfully hit one. Perfectly viable strategy. Okay, that one's hit, that one's hit. Okay. Oops, I forgot about these ones. Whatever. This looks like it should hit. Yep. And then this one, I forget, is this? Okay, so that's what they're underneath. Okay, yep, so this should hit. Okay. So that's a hit. And while I'm here, terraform mark around all of the tiles I would like to collect from. Okay. I think that's going to be a hit. Yep, that looks accurate. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that looks like 9 hits to me, and these should and this should be at this point pretty much a win. At this point, the level is 1. It's just a waiting game from here on. So these will infinitely flip. And the other thing is you do want to earn your refineries here. I'm just going to make sure that this is going fine. Okay. So at this point, we've got the energy. Have fun with it. Okay. So I'm just going to drop down a save just in case. So while this is actually producing, I'm just going to go over a few notable quirks with this and also the other strategies. So I already referenced that you could actually be smart with your positioning as opposed to cheesing it. But in regards to AC bombers, if you know a way to accurately hit them, I would love to know, because anytime I tried them, they were just super inconsistent. Beyond that, what was the other thing with them? No, that's really the only thing, is they were just really inconsistent. I could not make them do what I wanted them to in any way consistently. Um, Oh yeah, sorry. The mine production upgrade is important because it actually increases the spawn rate of these crystals. So usually these crystals, it will have one spawn wave every 8 seconds. But with the mine production upgrade, that actually gets reduced down to every 4 seconds at 100%. So it actually doubles the rate you get crystals. So I'm just going to try and be somewhat efficient with this. So it's a race to 6 orbitals. You two, disable you, because we want 6 orbital. No, disable. So we want 6 orbitals. So the thing is that wasting Liftic on getting orbitals 7 and 8 is useless. In terms of any other notable quirks with this. Okay, so there's the convert, there's the dampen, and there's the nullifier. And there's the under 10-minute victory. Okay. Now, so I think that some of the other interesting quirks that I have with this are, if you're playing on the beta, stacked Green Arm Mothers no longer work. It's so definitely be playing this on release, and I'm not sure that once the beta patch, if this is not changed, once beta goes full release, this map, it's not going to be impossible, but the spawn rate of the crystals is going to be so low that it's going to be incredibly difficult. As much as this is how I managed to solve the level, I am very curious how other people solved it. Notably, anyone who did strats involving AC bombers, anyone who didn't lose any units, I am very curious how you got around a number of the problems, because Sprayer was the only one I could deal with consistently. Bombers I know will work if you save scum it like crazy and just keep going until, like, just manipulate things pixel by pixel, random and frame by frame until you get lucky. But I do not know a better way to do bombers. If anyone actually does have a really solid way to do bombers, I am very interested in how to do it in that method. So with that, I hope everyone enjoyed the level and this video, and I hope that you all enjoy my future levels that I have in the works.